From the director of The Whale and Requiem for a Dream, Darren Aronofsky brings us Caught Stealing, a very intense action film which has some heart and a little bit of heartbreak. Let's get into it. So to start things off, I will say that this movie overall was very, very engaging, cut straight to the point. We get a lot of build up, but in a short time. And when I say build up, I mean we get accustomed to these characters, we get a little bit of backstory, but not overly inflated of a backstory, and not too much of one thing, as in not too much romance, not too much blood and gore, not too much jokes. Everything was tailored just right, and I think that comes from great direction. Set in the 1990s New York City time, we have Austin Butler, who plays Hank Thompson. He was a baseball prodigy until an unfortunate accident caused him to get injured, and he was no longer able to play. Zoe Kravitz joins the cast as well as Yvonne, the love interest in this film. Then we have Regina King, who plays Detective Roman, and she does a great job. I will also say this, the performances from everybody in this movie were top-notch, and I know that's quite a bit to say. Performances were very, very good, very believable and engaging. I've really felt a lot throughout the film. I felt several different things throughout the film, but one thing that didn't change was my excitement and the engagement and just being involved in the movie. Griffin Dunn plays Paul, the bar owner, and then we have Action Bronson, who plays Amtrak, a regular within the bar and one of Hank's friends as well, and obviously Paul's as well. One of my favorite actors ever, Matt Smith. He plays Russ, the neighbor that is like a kind of a punk rocker, is from London, and he seems to be kind of a douche, and he is one of the main forces behind the movie and behind the antics within the movie and what happens to Hank. George Abud plays Dwayne, one of the neighbors as well, and he added a lot to the comedic relief within the movie, and I do like his character. That's what I've been saying in some of my reviews, is a lot of times, nowadays especially, with these extras and the side characters, some of them actually make some of the best parts of the film. In this case, the George Abud, who played Dwayne, he did make a lot of those funny moments even funnier. He made some of those serious moments when he, would say certain things in the movie or do certain things, made it funnier, made it a little bit more engaging and exciting, so he did a good job as well. There were a lot of notable characters in this, but two notable characters, one of which is Liev Schreiber, who plays the character of Lipa, and Vincent D'Onofrio plays Schnully, and both of them are Jewish guys who Regina King's character calls them the bad ones or the scary ones because they're just ruthless and brutal, and you do not want to mess with the Hebrews. That's literally what they say in the movie. So the basic synopsis: Hank gets himself involved in some very twisted things, unwillingly, might you, because Russ unfortunately has to leave because of an issue, and he leaves, and unfortunately these guys come in. They beat up Austin Butler's character Hank because they think that he is involved with Russ and this scheme that Russ has, or whatever Russ owes these people. Throughout the movie, we follow Hank and all of these antics, and we see so many things happen, and from the beginning to the end of the movie, you really won't think that what happens, even 30 to 45 minutes in the film, something happens to even where Anthony and I were like, oh shit. I did not expect them to do what they did. There were a lot of times in this movie where we have dream sequences where you see something like a character is seeing and it looks real, and then they have a moment where they're like or they snap back to reality. So there's several times they set you up in this movie to think that, oh, this just might be another one of those dream sequences, or he's having a vision, or he's freaking out, so he's thinking the worst possible scenario, until you get to that point in the movie and realize that that is real happening in front of him. It's not a dream sequence, and even he takes a moment to be like, what just actually happened? And that's what I mean about this movie is very heartfelt and heartbreaking, because there's so many things that happen within this movie to some of the main cast and a lot of people in this movie, and you would really just be like, holy crap. The themes behind this movie, it's just all goes back to accountability and facing your fears, because if you are unwilling to take accountability for things happening around you, or things that you might have done in your past, even if it was years ago, and it keeps coming back up and haunting you, but you keep running away from it, there's going to be collateral damage. And I use that term specifically for a reason. There's going to be collateral damage, and everything around you will fall apart. And that's the thing, the main theme in this movie, I think, is just taking accountability and not running away from your problems, but standing there and facing your problems, even if you don't have a solution for it, even if you can't figure it out, even if it seems like the whole world is against you, and even if the whole world is against you. If you just take accountability, stand on your 2 feet, face your fears, face your problems, and stare them down, you will be fine. It will be hard. It will be terrible. It will be ruthless and breathtaking at times in the worst way. You would have stood on your own 2 feet. You would have faced it instead of running from it and feeling worse running from it and constantly having to look over your shoulder. The character development of Hank from the beginning to the end of the movie is absolutely beautiful. This movie was a lot shorter than I thought it would be, so at first I was kind of like, man, I really hope that this movie's good, and this movie ended up blowing me out of the water. This movie was absolutely amazing to watch because of the way how Aronofsky directed this. It was phenomenal. The chemistry between the actors and actresses, the concise nature of the story, and the true nature of the story was beautiful. I really don't have many negatives for this movie at all. The only true negative I have is that I wish it was a little bit longer, so we could have seen some other things play out, and even then, that's not really a big issue because of what they did with the time that they had. It's beautiful from start to finish. It was a great, concise story that had a great, strong opening, great strong middle, and a great strong close. And especially the way how it ended with Hank's character doing what he did and how he was, it was a great send-off. It really was a beautiful installment that I did not see coming within the cinema world today. Like it was such a beautiful movie to watch, and it's seeing the commercials and the previews, you're like, oh, you know, it just seems like a goofy action flick. Cool. That is not even slightly what it is. Yes, it is goofy. It is an action flick, but it does make you feel. It makes you think. It makes you ponder. It makes you get really engaged because you're like, wait a minute, what are they doing here? What's going on? It is a very engaging and fulfilling film, and I cannot wait to watch it again. So thank you guys for sticking with me through that little rant there. If you aren't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it so you can get a notification anytime there's a new video. Thanks again for watching. Until the next one.